All right, good evening, everyone. Hopefully you folks can hear me a little bit. Going to be getting started in just a second here. Welcome in, everybody. Let me just get some videos pulled up and we're going to get going in just a minute. All right, just one more moment here. Let me get these videos in. Chantel's back in Canada. Like, I was ready to completely skip her this week, but then she shows back up, right? Yeah, we got to start off with a little Marley Hendrix recap. Let me put the link in the chat here, and then I will welcome you folks in. All right. I'm trying a little, one of my little video clips too. I didn't make a new one for this week. Here we go. This one's perfect. All right, let's get it started. Empress Chavinin, welcome in. You made it. All right, do your best to stay awake. It's okay. That's what replays are for. Let me take off that music. 1 second here. Oh, and hopefully everybody's had a chance to see my community page, my community post. I've got the Discord pretty much, well, I don't want to say ready to go, but I'll say it's the first draft is almost ready to go. Welcome in, Fiona's mom. Hope you're doing well. Let me take off the starting soon banner also. Oh, and my doctor disclaimer, of course. I'm not really a doctor. If you think you need a doctor, please go get one. Now that that's out of the way. All right, let me turn off my my alerts as well while I'm at it. All right. Okay. All right, starting off a little slow. That's what I get for trying to start up early, right? All right. Yes, happy Dr. Phil Wednesday. Glad I could share it with you folks. And happy Easter, everybody. If you celebrate Easter, if you don't, just hope you had a good week. But if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. I had a good one. Yeah, welcome in, Nutty. Cobra's Forgotten Garlic Buttercups. Nutty the squirrel. I'm just going to still call you Nutty. It's a little bit easier. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. Welcome in, Elizu. Welcome in. All right, everybody can hear me loud and clear. Welcome in, Susie Q. Hopefully you're doing well. Where else could she go? Canada's the only place that will still take her, right? She was supposed to go on her her visa hop. Yeah, visa's been denied. Getting better at your name. I thought I don't know if I got it right or not. I do my best up here. Good evening, Nirvana. That's one I know I got. At least I hope. Susie Q as well. Welcome into you, Susie Q. Oh, a tutorial on the Discord. Okay, well, it's not actually ready yet, but I will be doing a tutorial once it is ready. It'll be hopefully ready by next week. And yeah, I could definitely do a basic tutorial. Just to give everybody a simple idea, it's kind of like an old internet forum. Yeah, it's almost ready. If you check my community tab, you can see like a little preview picture. I just took a little screenshot of it. It's not quite ready yet, but it's going to be a Discord. Yes, a Discord for Cornwall. Yes, it will be. It'll be like a bonus for channel members as a way to give them something extra. Especially since I can't provide the emojis on YouTube, so I want to give people something extra, and also I know that gets rid of a lot of drama because we get spammers, you get trolls, you get all that stuff, and I want the only trolls to be in there the trolls that I like, the Girl World trolls. Oh, that is kind of Nirvana, absolutely. Well, you folks certainly act nice. I could say that. I haven't had a chance to get a look at all of you, but I'll say you've got a beautiful spirit in here. Don't even know what a Discord is. Well, Nirvana, you're going to get to find out soon enough. And look at it like this. Think of it like a bonus for people who are members. If you're not a member, it's not like you're not missing anything. But if you are a member, you get an extra little bonus as a Discord membership. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Welcome in, Linda Lou. Hopefully you're having a good night. Yeah, so the Discord's just like a purely optional thing. It's just like I said, just something to give a little bonus to people who subscribe. And I'm also going to, for when that's why I'm trying to get that ready. So yeah, and it's on my community page. You can take a quick look at it. It's not even done yet though. So I don't want to get too excited. Okay, so now that we've got all that intro boring crap out of the way, let's get down to the show. Let's get down to the show. We're going to start off with a little bit of foodie, not a lot of foodie, but we're going to do a lot of glitter and lasers tonight. But yeah, we're going to start off with a little bit of foodie. And let me ask everybody here also, what do you folks think is the time span left on foodies publicly claiming Islam? Because I'm not going to get into the whole, is somebody really a religion or not? That's something personal. Only somebody themselves knows that. But we can certainly talk about if she publicly claims her religion. Does anybody else think? No, they have not been opened yet, Fiona. My apologies. They have not been opened yet, but they're going to be open soon. And that's part of the Discord thing. So I guess probably shouldn't have even mentioned it because now it's just creating more confusion. But I know a lot of people have asked about it. So I at least wanted to let them know where it, that I have made some progress on it, so that I haven't just been talking total BS. I have made some progress. That's really all I just wanted to show. I know I've created more confusion now, which is the opposite of what I wanted. Okay. Speaking of confusion, Chantel has been dwelling in the land of confusion mentally. What is going on with her wearing the abaya and eating during daylight? Doesn't she have the slightest bit of shame going to the fast food restaurant?
You don't mean that.
I mean, I don't mean to keep teasing you folks by turning it on and then stopping it. But doesn't she have the slightest bit of shame going to get fast food dressed up like a devout Muslim during daylight hours in Ramadan? Like, it'd be one thing to say, oh, well, she has diabetes. She shouldn't be ashamed of having diabetes. No, you shouldn't be ashamed of having diabetes, especially, for a lot of folks out there who are doing everything they can to manage their diabetes. But Chantel is using it like a cheat card. She's not eating because she's diabetic. She's eating because she wants to pig out.
But I need to eat this because I'm craving it back. Comfort food is what it is. It makes me not be sad. Hi, guys.
Okay, can I say it better than that? She literally just sang a song about how eating makes her not be sad. What about, it's for Ramadan. You're not supposed to eat just to make yourself feel good. The whole point of the fasting is to connect you spiritually, right?
Huberts, I don't want to eat in the restaurant for some reason, so I just took it to go. Oh, fries and gravy.
Well, thank you, Susie Q. I saw you wished me a happy Easter. I missed that.
Sorry.
I missed
Okay, I went to the drive-thru and I'm like, hey, can I order your pot? There's going to be a huge box of in here. I'm like, hey, can I order your pot pie? They're like, you can. Give me 2 forks.
That's
probably
true.
Think that's going to be for 2 people. No, it's 1 pot.
That's a great point, Empress. Shavanin, Shavanin. I hope I got it right. I hope I'm getting closer. Yeah, but Foodie is like I said, I don't like to. Well, I don't like. I don't want to just say outright that I don't want to say she is or she isn't. But if I had to take a bet, I would bet that she's not. I would bet that she's not I'm not qualified to say who is and who's not a Muslim because I'm not. I don't feel I have the ability to really judge that. But as far as I can tell, Foodie is not. Foodie is absolutely not, as far as I can tell. Yeah, she's Foodie. And I'm here for it too, right? This is the Foodie we're here to see. This is when she's being funny. Oh, no worries, Fiona's mom. No worries. That's the kind of troll we don't mind. Wanted to roll down the hill again. She did put that on her channel.
No, because I have to take medications and I need to drink water because of my diabetes. It's too hard. You're not required to fast if you have medical reasons, and you're gonna think just an excuse, whatever. It's not. I mean, it is, yeah, but it's a valid one,
Yeah, there you go. It's not just an excuse. Well, it is. Foodie tells on herself. She tells on herself. She doesn't even. She's not even good at sneaking. She should get some things raw, but keep on rolling along. Big no. She's not really feeling any shame doing the Muslim cosplay. Yeah, it's no Nirvana. I'll tell you right now, with the whole. I'm not somebody who gets easily offended. I'm not uptight about religion. I'm a Christian, but I don't get uptight. Other people do what you want. It's I don't. It's whatever. But she's like going out of her way to mock Islam. Like she's dressed up like a conservative Muslim eating during Ramadan. It would be like trying to think of a good comparison for Christianity. It would be like, trying to think of a good comparison. It would be like going around on Easter saying that, that Christ was not reborn or something. You're right. That's like the only thing I could think of. Maybe that's not a good analogy, but I'm just trying to think of, something where she's just totally breaking the rules. Like she could not be doing it more fakely, more fake, more more fallaciously. Oh, that would be a good word of the week too.
But my health is different now. From last Ramadan to this one, a lot worse. I'm on medications now. I wasn't before. So good. This gravy from our queen is back in Canada. We miss Juliana. Me too. I really do. I'll be seeing her soon.
Excellent point, Susie Q. She's going to see Julia soon. Does she think Julia is going to end up in Canada soon? Like, what does she even mean by that? Does she think they're both gonna pass on? Does she know something about Julia I don't? Does Julia have like serious diabetic problems? Welcome in, Cozy J. Hopefully you're having a good night. I know you're all the way over in England, right? Or in the UK, I guess. I don't know exactly where, but hopefully you're having a good night over there. No, it's a little bit later. Empress Chavanin, exactly, with the diabetes. I am surprised that Chantel doesn't seem to have any. Well, I shouldn't say that, but on camera at least, she doesn't seem to have any side effects. Like, from my understanding, eating all this kind of stuff when you have active, unchecked diabetes is going to make you really sick. So, yeah, exactly. She should show some respect to the religion, totally.
I mean, I'll see her again soon, inshallah. Like, oh, no. They forgot my Nashville chicken tenders.
Exactly. She's complaining about, oh, they forgot my chicken tenders. It's still light out, Foodie. Like, at least don't like intentionally troll. Like, she's trolling the like Muslims with this. She really is. Because even though some people here are like, oh, I can't believe she's doing this. Like, she's really trolling people of the Islamic faith, I think. And I'm surprised that she's not getting a little bit more pushback, but maybe it's just because she's not so well known.
No, mother. I know. It's not Kuwait that was the problem. I was boring in Kuwait. I wasn't physically well.
It's a good point. She's used to being sick.
Because of all the health issues I incurred on myself.
With no gallbladder, too, Nirvana.
Or else I could have done a lot more.
I'll try.
Decorating my new place. I'm going to Goodwill.
She really does feel
Honestly,
like Foodie trolls so much now. Like, I feel like she's like, that's her main audience. Like, I feel like she really does like talk to the trolls and talk to the reactors more than she talks to her own Beezers. I mean, to be fair, there's more reactors and more trolls than Beezers at this point anyway. So maybe it's not such a stupid idea. But she seems to be more concerned with what the reactors think than her actual
first
viewers.
thing, I'm just going to order a bed and have like a really nice bed and just bed rot when I'm at home. I don't need all kinds of furniture. I just need a bed and a chair for the kitchen. So I'll just get those things.
Australia,
I'm
my
planning on
apologies,
staying
Cozy
in
J.
Canada, but I'm hurt.
Well, I know you're in a different time zone at least. At least I got that little bit right.
Hi, babe. Babe, I forgot my chicken tenders.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that so true?
That's a good point, Susie Q. She's just wearing the I'm trying to think this. I guess we call it the scuba cap. She's just wearing like the cap. She's not actually wearing the hijab. So, but it still doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a typical Western outfit. Like, it might not be the full Islamic outfit, which I think is. But is she not wearing the hijab because she's ashamed to wear it and eat during Ramadan, or is she just not wearing it because she's too lazy to wear it? Like, I wonder if it's either one, right?
This is so good. I can't stop eating. You know what it feels like?
Oops.
That I've moved on from my life here. Now I'm like, it's not the same as before. I don't know. I'm just sad. So cheer me up. I'm just joking.
That's very possible, Lisa.
Sorry, I'm like literally pigging out. Babe, do you miss me? Do you ever feel like you need extra reassurance sometimes? Yeah, I feel like a pig right now.
And by the way, if Nal goes off tonight, would you folks want to watch some of her? I feel like I've had enough now, but if she's actively going off, like I might watch. Let me go check on her.
Sam has no balls. Oh my god, there's too much good food here. I'm not divorced. I never got divorced. When did I get divorced? I'm in my car, drinking gravy in the dark. Yeah, that's the depressing night out. Why did I leave in the middle of Ramadan? Why not? It's so weird. Like, I understand people being happy that I'm here, but like, it's like people really are happy. Like, they want me to live, like, I don't know.
I'll keep an eye on it. Oh, and Foodie also was talking about, I saw this on Kidney J's show. And we're going to go on. We're not going to be watching Foodie for too long. I know some of you folks are sick of Foodie. Anybody who's watching the replay, thank you for tuning in. If you're sick of Foodie, I'm sick of her too. But she came back to Canada, so I got to cover her just a little bit. But we're going to be covering mostly Glitter and Lazers. And I also have like a new person I might be bringing on later. She is drinking the gravy, Nirvana. Absolutely. Welcome in, Yellow Moon. Welcome in. Yeah, she is absolutely being gross. Juices, grape, pineapple, orange, cranberry. Oh, I love juices. I don't really drink them, but I do like them. So I know that I could see you miss them. She don't care at all. She gets a kick out of pissing off the Muslim community. Oh, that's a good point, Nutty. Definitely. She like
I just feel sad all of a sudden. I feel homesick for Kuwait.
She's like a kid who's like, oh, I'm not in class. I don't have to know anything. I don't have to, study or learn anything. Well, you should try learning it because it's good to know it, not because you have somebody watching you.
I miss sleeping with someone. I'm the worst person.
I can't resist.
They want you to bash the law. That's what they want. No, it's not going to happen.
I can't blame you. Welcome in, Lily. And I'll tell you, she's drinking it for real. Like, this video isn't really showing. I mean, the video's not over. Maybe it'll show some more clips toward the end. But she was really drinking it. And this is, for anybody not familiar, these texts are from Salah, the last time. These are not new texts. So I don't want anybody to get too excited. These are not new. And these are very disgusting. But, I mean, they're just flashing on the screen for a second. But, yeah, they're obviously very disgusting.
He's not perfect. You guys are only...
And the video quality is from the original was not that great either from what I remember, but it is a little poor here.
Is my battery dead now? I'm stranded here.
Her light went out.
Turn my car on. There we go. Why is this light is burnt out?
It's wild, but you're right. I see it like that.
No!
Louisu, if you think that's crazy, I have this guy later who might be the craziest person I've ever seen. I mean, I shouldn't say the craziest I've ever seen, but just one of the most. I forgot his name actually. Something Ditch.
Pussy, isn't it?
But I got a video on him. That's a good question, Doc. And welcome in, by the way. Yeah, Foodie was drinking the gravy for anybody interested, and she wasn't just drinking like I was thinking about it. And if you're in a car and you're trying to eat something, and then you I've eaten a French fry and then squirted ketchup directly into my mouth afterward. So I'm thinking maybe it's kind of like that. But then I watched some of it and she was just straight up drinking it. Like I felt like she was maybe like eating like a bite of potatoes and then maybe like just pouring a little bit on afterward, like because she didn't have a plate to put it on. But no, she's just straight up drinking that stuff.
When I have a place, we can do what we want.
She's back.
Gravy. There's somebody. Where did they catch me drinking gravy? That's embarrassing. I don't know why you guys thought I was like super miserable there. I wasn't super miserable. Like, I can't explain it. I seemed bored.
I get you, Lisa.
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
like
that's my
eating
fault,
cars
you know.
either too
but
much.
The summer there, I can't really do much.
Like, I love how Foodie now is telling this stuff about, oh, well, in the summer I can't really do much. I can't really. The heat is too much for me, She was always talking about how much she loved it there and how she and Salah were doing stuff together. And now all of a sudden, I can't do anything.
It just feels weird to me. Like for the past year and a half, I was always sleeping. Like I always had, I had my family there in Kuwait and have my routine, my spot on the bed where I always lay like a seal. I got to hummingbirds and I wish I didn't. If I live in Kuwait, I'm without Sam. If I live in Canada, I'm without Julia. That's just weird. And I'm without Salah. It's just weird for me. No, I'm supposed to stay in Canada. Like I can't change everything.
It's okay. We saw this whole story last time. This whole Canada thing last time. She's banking on her channel. It's the only way to make money for her. Yeah, I get what you're saying. She does enjoy the shock value. She drinks the whole thing. Shows that she is. That's just nasty to me. Like I'm not. Like I say, I'm not Mr. Clean as far as like being concerned with every little thing. But that's just nasty. Come on. What is she doing there? All right. So this is the current Foodie. She's back in Canada. Not too much to say. It's a little.
I'm already very deep into this. I miss my husband and my cat and my Howie maybe. I'm kidding. I want more Popeye. No, I'm full.
Oh, and she said she's going to go back to smoking too. She said something about how, oh, well, I'm a Canadian, so marijuana is normal for a Canadian. I support smoking marijuana. Okay. Like I said, there's not too much on this one. I've got another Foodie video we can watch later, but I really want to watch some Glitter and Lasers. We might break it up with a Foodie video in between. But let me pull on Glitter and Lasers for a minute, because that's what I've really been meaning to watch for a while. put this on while I pull up the Foodie. Excuse me, the glitter. Or actually, would you rather see that really crazy, disgusting guy? Would you rather see? I found the video with the crazy, disgusting guy. His name is Andrew Ditch. He is just like this really disgusting guy. He lives with his family and he drives them crazy. He's like worse than now. He is just terrible. Is that going to be too intense tonight? Or you guys folks want to chill with something more relaxing? Glitter and Lazers. Okay, Glitter and Lazers. Let's do Glitter and Lazers. Glitter and Lazers I haven't talked about her in long enough. I want to talk about health. Some hill rolling. Exactly. Oh, you want to watch Andrew too? Okay. Oh, you want to see Andrew? We got time for both. I mean, we got Glitter and Andrew. Okay, you know what? We're going to do Glitter first because I have 2 Glitter and Lazers videos. We're going to watch the first Glitter and Lazers video, then we will watch Andrew, then we'll see how much time we have left. Okay, so let's do it like that. We'll do the first Glitter and Lazers video. Let me bring that on first. All right. 1 second here. Let me pull up the video list. All right, the most recent Glitter and Lazers. Oh, yeah, and this is a great one from Kate Winslet. I got to share this. This is absolutely great. Just to get an idea of Glitter and Lazers.
Going west. He is making for the Empire State Building. Stand by for further reports.
Banner, hold on. This is from Kate Winslet, who's absolutely hilarious.
What do you mean they're Wednesday? Please.
This video is titled. Oh, I forgot to tell you the title of the video, by the way. This is when Anna thought the Empire State Building served brunch. That's the title of the video. That's what makes it so good.
Good job getting out there.
Good job getting out there. All right, so let me go back real quick. Let me make sure I got the right video here on the list. Get the right one. Okay. We didn't watch this one yet, right? I just want to make sure. We didn't actually watch this one yet. This is part 2 of Runlab. Here we go.
Again, as I always say, I'm just constantly surprised at what I'm capable of when I put myself in the situation to try.
We're going to fix your walk as well. Not just make you a good runner, but make you a good walker.
This just gives me hope that there's like still
Let me give a little beginning for anybody who missed it. This is part 2 of a video where Glitter and Lazers goes to Runlab. I should preface this with a few things. One, if you don't know anything about Glitter and Lazers, just a quick once over is she is very coarse, very abrasive. She treats the whole world like it's a set for her own personal videos that she makes. Doesn't see anything wrong with trashing a Target to make a video. And I actually mean like she really did trash it, like stretched out the clothes, redressed the mannequins. But yes, more importantly, she's been lying for a long time about how much she exercises. She's been claiming to have exercised for 9 months, but at the end of this period, she claimed to have been jogging and running for 9 months now. She's never given any real evidence of it. And after 9 months, when she's finally able to do some jogging and running on camera, she's actually not able to do it. And in the past, she's been unable to complete workouts that she's claimed that she's been able to do. Like she doesn't have any video of her actually completing any of the workouts that she claims. So let's keep going. Let's get started now.
so much more. Because sometimes you wonder, like, okay, I've been at this for a year, which I know technically a year is not a long time, but like it feels like a long time.
Yeah.
And I think this is just coming at the perfect time for me
Welcome
to
in,
like
Detective.
just keep moving forward, because this does, especially with getting on that treadmill, feels a little bit impossible.
You know, I'll tell you this, Empress Chevenin. I like that she's trying now. I don't like that she lied for 9 months because it doesn't add up. She claimed that she's done 160 workouts in the last 9 months. She doesn't provide any documentation of any of these workouts. She doesn't seem to have lost any real weight, and she doesn't show us any improvement in her fitness. She claims that she's been running and jogging, but we don't see any evidence of any of it. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, if you're at her size, she would have to be consuming so many calories for her to be maintaining that weight that it's just, if she is, then that's her own. That's like a different set of problems. Like consuming 6,000 calories a day is not healthy. I mean, even if you are burning 4,500 a day. I mean,
so today we're back at Runlab, as you guys know.
Eating 4,500 calories a day is probably not healthy for anybody, but especially if it's all like protein snacks and alcohol. You know what I mean?
The past couple weeks, I've been doing my PT literally everywhere. Disney, Tracy's house, anywhere I could. And now we're going to see what effect it's had.
Well, we've seen Foodie pretend to exercise. We've seen Foodie go out and do a lot of walks. I mean, like, if we just want to be straight up, Foodie has shown as much evidence of exercise as this woman does. The only difference is Foodie doesn't do the clothes try-ons. But other than that, Foodie has shown, like, she's shown herself getting on a treadmill. She's shown herself walking around a mall. She's shown herself walking around I mean, as far as just like showing heavily edited videos of walking around outside, Foodie's done that too. So, I mean, it's just such as far as showing heavily edited videos, that's why I compare her to Foodie, because they both, neither one of them has shown us any like concrete evidence. And that's what I want to see at this point. It's been 9 months. Let's see the concrete evidence, Anna.
Also going to go shopping for shoes that are best fit to support me as I work on those changes in how I walk, and also as I start to run. So today is kind of a big day. I'm going to know really for the first time in my life from a doctor what.
And if she, and let me add this, if she has been working out really hard for 9 months, it just doesn't add up. It's just not, it's for her to still not be willing to show us any actual workouts is just, it calls into question a lot. Why won't she show us any workouts? She's not shy to show us her body. Why won't she actually show us the results that she's claiming? That's what's very frustrating to me, that she's claiming all these results, and I believe she's misleading her audience into thinking that she's doing a lot more than she actually is. When I don't think she's doing I think all she's mostly doing is just getting dressed up and taking videos.
I need to be rocking to, keep rocking without injuring myself. But I will tell you cool things. My knees no longer hurt and my ankle no longer hurts. So this is all magical for me.
Well, to be fair, I'm not going to compare her to Foodie, because, I mean, that's not like fair to either one of them. Because, I mean, comparing somebody to Foodie, everybody's going to come out looking good, right? I guess if you want to say it like that, but that, I mean, if we lower the bar enough, we could say anybody is really doing something. But I mean, if you have to compare her to Foodie to say she's doing well, then I think that's damning with false praise.
Let's go.
So I'm going to go through all three views. Okay. There is 4, but for the sake of the left side being the problem child, we're going to focus on that.
It's weird. I know the left side is the problem child. I can tell now.
When we are running, you actually do a very good job keeping your leg underneath yourself. Similar to what I said you did with the walk, where you kind of posted.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Hippie East, I don't know how much she's actually moving, because she shows such heavily edited videos. I mean, Chantel has shown a lot of heavily edited videos too. I can't take her at her word. If I take Anna at her word, yes, but I don't take her at her word. I think she's misleading us as far as how much she actually moves around. And as somebody who's lost a lot of weight, as somebody who's been in the gym when they were heavy, maybe not as heavy as Anna, but the weight falls off. I mean, you've lost a deal of weight. You know yourself that when you are really exercising as much as she claims, the weight just falls off. It does. You can't keep the weight on when you're doing that much exercise. It's hard to keep the weight on at that point. And it just doesn't add up. Her numbers don't add up. 160 workouts? Like, what kind of workouts is she actually doing?
You're unlocked, but you keep it there and you don't actually absorb and coil down like if you were going to jump.
Welcome in, Sense of Wonder.
You just use your ankle. So if we ever watch the Olympics for speed
Well,
walking,
she's got more in her life
you
than Chantel.
technically do
That is
double.
definitely true. I mean, I see that as two separate things. As far as having a more fulfilling life, Glitter and Lasers has a lot more going on. I'll give her that. She doesn't fake a marriage.
So I'm technically just walking.
You are super speed walking.
Look at me, I'm a fat.
All right, we're gonna watch one later.
No, I'm
Hippies.
not.
I watched one. I watched one a minute ago, but just to give an example, she claimed that she walked 5 miles at Disney World, but in the same video later on, she acknowledged that she actually rode a scooter. So she doesn't give straight up. I mean, her videos only show her heavily edited walking, and that's the thing. I just want to see one actual workout from her. That's what I want to see. I want to see one actual workout and not just heavily edited videos. And that's kind of where I am. Comparing her to Foodie, yes, she's way more active than Foodie. She's in better shape than Foodie. But I want to see one actual workout. She's done 160 workouts. Why can't she film one of them?
But
There is nothing wrong with that.
it's not. So that's not jogging or running.
Technically, no.
Okay, I have never run or jogged.
Now, I also have a inclination that you were not very comfortable on the treadmill.
No, I hate the treadmill.
So
I love how this guy's so polite. He's saying, I have an inclination you're not very comfortable on the treadmill. She's never actually walked or jogged. It's just, if you've been walking for 9 months, you're going to have a level of comfort when you walk. It's if you've knitted for 9 months, your hands are going to move more quickly. I'm trying to think of an analogy. If you've cooked for 9 months, you're going to have some skill in the kitchen. When she walks, she just doesn't look like somebody who's been regularly walking for 9 months. I just don't see it. Even this guy doesn't see it either. He's the professional and he's not seeing it. He's saying you don't look
may be
comfortable.
on the verge of a jog, like on the regular road.
So I thought I was going to learn that I've never run in my life, but what I actually learned today is that I've never jogged either, or may not have jogged. We're about to find out if I actually can jog. So
I think she's drinking a lot.
Let's find out.
She's admitted to that, Nirvana.
First, Dr. Roden had me show
And let me say something. It's also as far as Glitter and Lasers. I don't have any stake in her being out of shape. If she gets in shape, God bless her. I'm surprised that she's not. If she's done 160 workouts, like it's just where. That's what I mean when I say it doesn't add up. It's like if I just have never heard of that.
walk.
Somebody
And also
working out
show him
regularly
the progress
like that.
I'd made using the PT.
Somebody working out as much as she claims to work out and have actually regressed during that time. She did have a period of time when she was losing weight, yes, but then she gained it all back and she claimed to have continued to work out throughout the entire period.
The
So it doesn't add
exercises
up.
I had been doing since our last visit.
So I am super proud of you. You are not hyperextending your knees anymore, right?
I love this part
Now-
here. I love this part here. She gets so excited. She gets so excited when he's like, hey, I just want to give you the good news. You're not hyperextending your knees. And she's like, yeah, I'm not hyperextending my knees. Yeah. It's like, does she realize what hyperextending your knees even means? She's so she should be more upset that she's been hyperextending her knees for 9 months, and causing permanent damage.
Well, Casey.
So basically, all the
last
trolls
visit.
were correct.
So I am super proud of you. You are not hyperextending your knees anymore, right? Now,
That's the I'm not hyperextending my knees anymore dance. It's like, yeah, my knees still work. Look at me dancing.
what Casey's going to polish with you is, at least this is for the walk, okay?
Mhm.
You've reduced your
Welcome to
stride.
Daddy.
Kick butt. Love it. But you're kind of back like this. Like,
That's a
"What's
good
up,
example,
guys?"
hippieista. That's a good hippieista. I don't know how much distance you do on the treadmill or how much speed you do, but I'm sure that you've developed a certain comfort with it. Your first day on the treadmill, I don't know how much more you're doing now, but your first day, you probably had trouble even just getting onto it. Now I don't know where you are now, but I've got a feeling that at least just getting on and off of the treadmill, you're comfortable with that, if nothing else. Glitter and Lasers doesn't even have that. She doesn't even look like somebody who's gotten on and off of a treadmill regularly. And she claims that she's been running outside, but nobody's seen her run either. So like for any actual distance. So it's
Cool.
kind of
And you're
that
here?
situation.
Versus kind of that offensive, like, hey, I'm coming at you. Like, I own this place. I want a little bit more lean
oh god, that feels so weird.
because
feel like
you
I feel like
not
A
use-
diaper in my head.
Next, Dr. Roden had me run outside. This was so he could see if I could actually jog or if I was just walking really fast.
You have.
All right, I'm going to say I just have to agree to disagree with you with this one, Empress. I could not see hanging out with her, but you know what? If I respect the fact that you can see the positive in her, and I absolutely respect that. So I'm, no problem with that.
You have a moment. You
I was
technically-
like,
You officially jog.
okay,
We want to be a little bit more joggy, right?
It's
but I
just-
do it.
But you do it. You have a
I
moment
love
where
the
you
getting out
have
and
one foot
exercising.
off
thing.
and
Let me say one thing. I do like the getting out and exercising. I just wish that she were authentic about it, so that I could say, "Hey, this is somebody who exercises. This is the results you get. This is the improvement she has." Skinny Queen. I don't want to single her out, but she's been doing that water aerobics, and she's talked about how it's helped her a lot. Now, I haven't actually seen videos, so I can't say for sure. Right? Like I'm not gonna say, well, but it just feels authentic. It just feels authentic to me. The times that she quotes, the numbers that she quotes, the amount of weight that she claimed, it's like the numbers just add up. Sometimes the numbers add up. Sometimes the numbers don't.
1 foot up.
Okay.
Okay. That is where we want to keep you. We don't want the crazy float time. That's
Fair
not
enough.
necessary and very risky at this point. All right, I'm gonna pass you off to
And,
Casey.
and I want to say one thing also. I got sidetracked about just glitter and lasers, but sidetracked. That's what I'm talking about. But Runlab, I'm not sponsored at all, but I like Runlab from what I've seen. They've been very honest with this, with glitter, and they've told her the truth, which is without being rude or without being disrespectful, without making any jokes, even they've been as kind and as honest as anybody could be. Just telling her straight up that she's not running, she's not walking, and she needs to learn to walk before she can learn to run. And I get that she's being a little silly because she's probably a little bit embarrassed, and I could see why her being a little bit embarrassed. But does she have any humility? That's my question. It's okay to be embarrassed, but you should have a little bit of humility when somebody tells you that you've been wrong for so long. It's okay to deflect and be, but you got to own it. You got to own up to it. You got to say, wow, you know what? That lady who said I looked like a beginner, now I can see why.
Let's go,
Hannah,
Casey.
Kick butt, take names.
Boom.
Find your butt.
I will. It's right here.
She does try a little bit, Susie Q. I don't know how much she's trying, but at least this video gives the impression of somebody trying. I don't know what she's been doing the first 9 months. That's my question. From these recent videos, Glitter looks like she's actually doing something. I would not be surprised if in the future she actually does start to lose some weight, because it seems like she's trying more now than she has in the past. But what was she doing the past 9 months? That's the question that it raises. Because if she starts to lose weight now and she starts to get healthy now, then what was she doing prior to this?
In PT with Casey, we were working on 2 really important things. The first was learning how to feel and fire my glute muscles.
And then from here, I'm going to squat down on that.
They didn't say it on video, but I've got a feeling they said it off camera, because everything else they've said has been honest. So I don't think they would lie about that. They probably just said it in very nice terms, like you need to reduce the impact on your joints. They probably said it like that because they probably wanted to say it in a very nice way, but I have a feeling they did. Well, Susie Q, that's the thing. She lost some weight, but then she gained it all back. She claims that she's lost 90 pounds, but it looks like she lost about 40 pounds and then she gained it back. That's my estimate. I'm not an expert. She never did any weigh-ins, so we can't say. She's never actually given us a weight. And she's never given us a size. Not that she has to, but if she wants to, but that's another thing too. I have to mention this. Glitter and Lazers is a sponsored athlete. She's sponsored by a fitness app. She tells her audience that they don't need personal trainers, that they'd be better off. Well, that doesn't say they'd be better off, but she says they'd be just as good with getting the app that she uses. She doesn't make a point to talk about going to your doctor and getting cleared for exercise. She's like, just download this app and it'll correct your form if your form is bad. This app that she's been using for 9 months has never once told her that she's not actually jogging or running. So ALR, I think, would be so concerned about making videos. Foodie would just want to eat. She would do nothing. Did she just say KFC? I totally missed it. She puts on better content, Empress. I'll agree with you on that. She's better at least presenting it. You know what, Empress? Watch this show, but after this one, go back and watch one of the first one I did on her, where she trashes the Target. She shows up at a Target drunk. She picks up the clothes, that she knows don't fit. She puts them on and stretches them all the way out and then just throws them back in a heap. And she does, if she did that with one item, all right, but she does that with item after item, like an entire display of clothing, basically. And then she takes the mannequins, she takes off the arms, starts disassembling the mannequins, starts taking off the clothes, redresses the mannequin. She basically treats the store like her own movie studio. And if the store is okay with that, sure. But there's people who are working, not getting paid enough to have to put up with that.
A single leg and then come
So
back up.
that's one of the things
Currently,
about her.
when I ran, I did not use my butt. So learning how to fire my glutes would help me move more safely, as well
It is
as
cozy, Jay.
kind of divide the demand of my muscles out, allowing me to be able to recover more quickly and move more efficiently. The second thing we were working on during these
See, I like this exercise. I just wish that if she had been doing this kind of exercise for 9 months, I think she would have lost a significant amount of weight and kept it off. I believe that. I strongly believe that she would. I don't think Glitter and Lasers is immune to weight loss. I don't think she's immune to diet and exercise. I think if she was dieting and exercising as strenuously as she wants us to think, I think the weight would be falling off of her. I think she's perfectly capable of doing it. And I've seen her exercise. I think she even has the ability to do it. She just needs to put it together. I want to see her do it. I don't want to see her fail.
Were allowing me to have better form by hinging forward a little bit. Dr. Roden talked a little bit about how I basically stood too much upright. While I learned to bend my knees, my walking had become, wonky. So learning how to hinge forward also helped.
This is exactly why this is why I criticize Glitter and Lasers, because she has people who watch her who, if 9 months ago listened to her advice, if they followed her advice, would have very likely developed some kind of significant pain in their knees, in their hips, in their ankles, because she has shown no kind of correct form. And she has never once said anything until now about concentrating on running correctly and making sure that you're safe. She always just says, just get out there and do it. No, don't just get out there and do it. Make sure you're doing it safely. Make sure you're doing it safely. Don't go and ride a motorcycle without a helmet your very first time. I mean, maybe you should always ride a helmet. I'm not a motorcycle guy. I don't know the details, but I'm just saying, if you're going to, you're a skateboard, put on a helmet your first time on a skateboard. Good example. She's telling people just go out and start running and jogging. If you're already in decent shape, sure. But if you haven't run or jogged in years, you really should get your clearance from a doctor.
Help better support my balance and that muscle distribution that we were working on by learning how to fire my glutes.
We're at Ready to Run, which is a store specifically geared for shoes for runners and I think other things as well. And we are meeting.
I could see her being 3X on the top. She's very bottom heavy. So I think she has she's definitely a different size on the top than the bottom. If I can get Bowflex to sponsor you, I'm going to get them to sponsor me too. Yeah, and Nirvana, that's the other thing too. And I understand everybody's different. Some people, they just, they kind of luck into a little bit easier time than others. Some people, no matter how hard they work out, it just never seems to get easier. But there's such a thing as anybody could get some level of results, right? That's the thing at Beeze. I think Glitter Lazers should be doing like the pool yoga. She should be doing the pool aerobics, because if she was doing regular yoga, I think I don't think she could really do regular yoga, or at least I don't think she could do very many of the poses safely. I think she should really concentrate on doing it, like in the water, because that way she could, like Skinny Queen does it. Skinny Queen has managed to avoid serious injury. Knock on wood. I don't want to give her bad luck now, but she's managed to avoid injury by doing safe exercises. And I think that's the number one concern when you're exercising and you haven't done it in a while. Are those the resistance bands, the TRS bands? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
She's like, I was not prepared. No. But
I'll tell you, Susie Q, anybody squeezing into something that doesn't fit is usually not pleasant for them or anybody else. Clothes that fit are good for everybody.
yes, we're gonna go get you some shoes. Let's go get shoes.
I like
yeah,
that.
let's do it.
That was a great vid. Kimmy J just did a fantastic vid, by the way, I should say. It's about Foodie talking about how she doesn't have to fast and all that kind of stuff, and her free Canadian healthcare. Definitely check it out.
Chucky, I will do it. Hi.
Lymphoma, well, harder to lose weight. I think it would make it harder to lose weight, but it wouldn't make it harder to lose fat, in the sense that she would retain fluid, but her body would still burn calories at a normal rate. In fact, if she's carrying more body weight, her body would burn more calories doing the same exercises. Now, I'm not saying it's going to make it easier to lose weight. It might make it harder in other ways. It might make it harder because it might give her more pain. It might reduce her range of motion. It might make it hard for her to use certain exercise machines. So it could make it harder in that way. But as far as just like chemically, like as far as just like the calories equation, as far as just burning calories, I don't think it would matter as far as that. I think if it would be maybe a little bit less, but I don't think it would be like, all things being equal, I think she would burn the same calories. I don't think the lymphoma would get in the way directly of that, although it could make it harder for her to exercise. Or lipedema, I think you mean to say. Her lipedema could make it harder, is making it harder for her to exercise, actually. Her lipedema is, because her legs are so wide, she's not able to get a normal jogging gait. So her running is kind of out of whack.
You don't go on runs.
From your map that you guys went through over at Runlab, at the end of that thing, some shoe anatomy stuff. So
I'll say that anybody who hasn't run or jogged in a long time should definitely talk to a doctor first and just make sure they can. If you're in regular shape and you can walk around, yeah, absolutely, just get out and do it. I'm not telling people they shouldn't get up and do it. But if you're somebody who's significantly, I mean, I don't mean you, but if a person is, if they haven't done any running or jogging for a period of time, if they're more than 100 pounds overweight, make sure you talk to a doctor just to make sure you're not at risk of injury or anything like that. That's all I'm going to say on that.
So what we do with that, we look at your structure. So the way your bones are put together, the things you can't change about yourself, we look at that. We look at your range of motion, which is something that can change, but it takes a
Bless you,
while.
Nirvana. Good
So
luck.
we look at how does all of that combine with what your goals are, what your injury history is, all of that, and it spits out the shoe report that you got at the end of that map.
Yeah, that's not exactly Kidney J. That's what I mean when I say that Glitter and Lasers doesn't show results. When I say she doesn't show results, I don't mean like she should have a fit, toned, beach body. I don't mean that at all. I mean that she shouldn't be so wobbly when she does her exercises. She should have been able, by now, she should have found the exercises that she can do without looking like she's going to fall over. If you go to do an exercise and you're very wobbly and you're about to tip over, any trainer will tell you, find an exercise you can do more safely or do it in a way where you have some assistance. She isn't doing that. She's just getting hurt or putting herself at risk. Oh, geez, I'm getting behind the chat. Let me catch up.
And so then the way that interfaces with shoe store people is they can look at it and say, okay, you
not
need
lymphoma,
a wide
I'm sorry.
platform, a 4 to 8 millimeter
Uh-oh.
offset,
Yeah.
on and on and on.
I don't know
do
what
we
any
have
of that
on the
means,
wall?
but
No
What
worries.
shoe people do, and that's why we're here.
Hey, you know what? Even now I've lost a bunch of weight. I still don't like wear super tight clothes. I like to wear stuff that fits comfortably.
What I've learned from this experience so far is I still don't know what the hell I need, but what I did learn is that I get to go shopping more. So this is a win.
I know I knew all about how to pick a good shoe for a bigger body, but it's really not that simple. Now, everybody's foot moves and is shaped a little bit differently. So you need to find a shoe that works perfectly for you.
A lot of the Hoka shoes, because they're built on a rocker, have a really aggressive arch that doesn't move.
All right, this video is kind of boring at this point. It's just her shopping for shoes from here out. So let's go to the let's watch that really eccentric guy, and then we can watch the second Glitter and Lasers vid. I think that's what we should do. So let me load up the that Andrew Ditch guy, because he is just absolutely crazy. He is just wild. You got to see him. All right, let me show the banner real quick. All right, so yeah, Glitter and Lasers. We got to have another video, the second part of her running experience, and see if how far she's actually made it since that video. So we'll see. Hopefully she has some success. So anyway, this new person here, this is a new person. This is a video I have from, yes, this guy here is absolute nutty. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, she's geez, Kidney J, that's well. Hopefully, in 9 months you'll be better. That's all I can say. Like, I mean, if it's a matter of like hip replacement, there might not be so much you can do. Like, that's a different thing to see. To like, that's something beyond my knowledge. Like, as far as working with a hip replacement, like I mean, that might be something that you know. I don't know as far as that's going to work out. Okay, so let's let this run a little bit.
Drew Ditch.
Oh, and just to give a link, this is from a channel. I don't watch them that often. They're okay. Kiwi Tapes, but I just want to give a link because I always give a link if I post a video. This guy here is, I'm just going to let the video speak for itself. It says he's a diaper fetishist. Yeah, and Kidney J, I hope that you just can keep getting better. I really hope the best for you. I don't really have any good advice, unfortunately. Except to just do your best, right?
I want to leave. I don't want you to hurt my ears. The doctor. I want to leave. Hey, man, come on. I want to leave. Dad, Mom is on the floor. She fell right off the toilet.
The past 2 days, I was taking it easy for my emotional well-being, Dad.
Andrew Ditch, also known as the Poop Squatch, is a 38.
This guy is just amazing. You got to see him.
Year-old man from New York. Andrew is primarily known around the internet for his extreme disagreements with his family, usually stemming.
Okay, Kidney J, I misunderstood you. Okay, well, that's good then. That's awesome. That's good that you're moving in the right direction.
From accusations of neglect or improper care. From the outside looking in, you would think it's two parents complaining that their son and caretaker is not doing a good job. But in
okay, so he's saying here that from the outside looking in, I'm not going to use his exact verbiage, but this guy has his two elderly parents he lives with, and he keeps complaining about he's not being taken care of. At age 38, he wants them to care for him as a disabled adult. But it gets more complicated. How disabled is he? That's what we're going to learn in a bit.
In reality, it's the exact opposite. Andrew, who is nearly 40, has called the police on his parents hundreds of times for what he claims is improper care. The more you look at it, the fishier this whole thing gets. And the lore of Andrew Ditch has proven to be quite the rabbit hole. But I feel like the best way to explain it is to simply start at the beginning. Andy.
Okay, so we're going to just let this guy run the beginning, and then we'll skip ahead because I don't want to just show his video, but we're going to skip ahead a little bit after this part in the beginning.
He was born June 7th, 1985, and lived with his brother Joe, his other brother Michael, his father Tom, and mother Janet. As a child, he was diagnosed with PTSD and was hospitalized numerous times for threats and assaults against his own family. One of the most extreme being antifreeze poisoning that his father Tom suffered, though it could not be proved.
Right, that's right. So allegedly, he tried to poison his own family as a child. This is crazy. This is just shocking to me. This is why I normally don't pull up these shocking people, but this is just so shocking. I can't help but bring it up. It's like just wild. He's allegedly poisoning his own family.
Proven, Tom highly suspects that this was Andy. And as we proceed with this video, you'll find that Andy has a history of tampering with consumables. The next pivotal moment in Andy's life would be a car accident that he would be involved in. While riding his bike to his job as a Ronald McDonald performer at McDonald's, Andy was struck in a hit and run. Here is Andy's father, Tom, speaking about the accident and some of the consequences that it may have had on Andy's life.
And he's riding his bike on Hines over by the apartment and Fletcher. And we got a phone call. We're sitting down to eat dinner. Come and see your son if you want, because otherwise he's going to be dead. He's laying in the middle of the street. So we raced out, got in the car, went over there, and he's laying in the middle of the street. He got hit by a vehicle, hit and run, and he's laying there.
Okay, so yeah, apparently this guy has had a lot of problems growing up, and I feel some sympathy for him. But the more we learn about him, the harder it is to sympathize with him. So that's basically his past. He did get a head injury, but apparently it hasn't affected him that much.
Of these brain injuries to develop, in certain cases, of course. Do I believe this is the case for Andy? I truly don't know.
AN?
Okay,
You're
this
the
is
case
after
for
the brain injury. He allegedly had a computer business before he got injured. This is after the injury, this video that we're about to see.
Andy. I truly don't know because that PC business his father spoke about was started well after the accident. Here's a clip of Andy from 8 years ago.
and you're gonna plug in from the modem to your router into the WAN.
A good question.
Sometimes it'll be marked WA.
The TLDR is that he has a very low IQ and he has schizoaffective disorder. He allegedly he claims he has autism, but he's never been diagnosed with autism. He's been diagnosed as not having autism because it's thought that he might have it. This is after the brain injury. Apparently, he was always kind of slow.
Sometimes it'll be marked just with an internet symbol, such as what this router has a little universe on there. Hey YouTube, Andy here. I have a challenge for everybody.
I think he's from New York.
If you want me to eat poop, I need you to subscribe to my channel, get me 1 million subscribers plus.
Not only did Andrew...
So, I mean, as far as the brain injury goes, you'd think that he's always had one the way he acts, but it's just, this is a case where you don't know what's going on, but he seems very manipulative as well. Let's see how he acts.
To run a computer business on his own, but he was also an amateur meteorologist, being good enough to actually work with real meteorologists a couple of times. Andrew also lived by himself, taking care of all of his needs. Granted, he didn't make enough money to pay for the apartment and eventually had to move back to the house, where he finds himself in his current situation, living with his mom, dad, and brother.
So basically, he was living on his own for a period of time. This was after the brain injury, and he was, I guess, not doing that well, so he had to go move in back home. And after that, he really degenerated, and this is what's happened since then.
An average interaction between Andy and his family.
You deny me my test kit for sugar, my medications that use at your house, my property, and my medical rights.
Oh, that's good, Andy. You know, you can play this game too, because right now I'm doing the same thing.
And I've been recording you all along.
Well, good.
It's going on YouTube to how you treat me.
The main thing that...
So this is the thing that he does regularly. He records his family attempting to show that he's being abused, in his words. But the abuse seems to just be them not wanting to
Andy
do what he
accuses his family of is neglect. He will start recording, making this video, edit it, and post it to his YouTube channel, all in an attempt to get pity. That is the main purpose of his presence on social media, to post videos about how his family quote diapers. And you know what Andy does? Consultation over the phone, hundreds of hours of in-person care.
So he's constantly calling the police on his own family. What is he calling them about? Let's hear what he asks about. Exactly. He's on YouTube. He's causing a lot of problems, this guy.
Thousands in medications and even more in adult diapers. And you know what Andy does with all of these things? Throws them away and tries to blame it on his family members. So
in other words, he gets all these free medical supplies and then he throws them away. Here's a video his family took of the stuff in the trash bin. Listen to what he says when they confront him about having thrown away the medical supplies he claims they won't let him use.
Need help.
So good.
I don't need your help.
It makes it
you
easy
said.
for me to get it out.
You said that I don't need help. I used to do this stuff on myself.
What are you going to disturb the music because if you're misbehaving?
Yeah,
I'm recording too.
Welcome in. We're taking a little break from Chantel for this exceptional individual here. I don't know if you just heard this, but this is the trash can here. These are his medications that he threw away himself, and he called the police claiming his parents won't give him his medication or his diapers, but apparently he just throws them in the trash, and this is a regular occurrence.
Yeah, well, I want that thrown away. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't have autism. I fucking fake.
Good.
Can you please let me throw it out? It's my shit.
Please,
I want to throw it out. I don't want to have autism anymore.
Welcome in, Frida D.
Please. I don't want diapers anymore. Please.
If he doesn't want the diapers anymore, what is he? This guy doesn't make any sense. He says he doesn't want the diapers. throws the diapers away, but then he calls the police because his family won't change his diapers. What is none of it makes any sense. This guy is just so disgusting.
You're forcing me to do something I don't want because you're
Well,
hurting me.
Andy, if you wouldn't act like this, Andy, if you didn't act like this, we wouldn't have this problem.
I can do this shit. I'm calling police.
Yeah, call 'em.
You're instigating me. And you're being allowed to do this to me. And I'm asking you to please throw it out.
You're right.
I don't want it anymore.
He's asking to please throw it out. Keep in mind, these are things that were provided by the state. These are all taxpayer-provided materials, and it's not like he threw them away once. This is a monthly thing.
Well, you don't have a choice in the matter when you misbehave like
I
this.
don't want them anymore, please.
His
OCJ,
family.
I wish there was somebody who could. We're going to watch a little more. Apparently, the state has tried everything, and I guess the family is just not willing to put him onto the street, or and unless they're willing to do that, I don't think there's anything else that can be done.
Is truly damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they allow Andy to throw out these items, then he's just going to pin it all on them. He's done it in the past. And if they do confront Andy on throwing these things out, he claims that they're forcing him to use them. Andrew's interactions with these diapers are beyond vile, and one of the things...
Yeah, I'm going to skip that also. Like, you can imagine what he does with the diapers. They're just really disgusting, what he does. And if you're interested in this guy, I could do a deeper dive into this. I can go on QB Farms and look up some more info on this guy. This is just like a quick once over, but I think this guy's interesting. He's almost like too disgusting, but he's kind of interesting.
Previous clip, you heard Andy mention that he didn't like being called a fake. What he's referencing is the fact that everybody mentions that he's never actually been diagnosed with autism, which he adamantly...
They actually put him in one, but he got kicked out. And that's the thing. They keep putting him in group homes, but he keeps getting kicked out for acting like this. So they don't really have anywhere to put him because the group homes won't take him.
Claims to have. If you point out this medical fact that Andy has proven himself, well, he's going to absolutely lose it on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here he is throwing a temper tantrum over being called a fake by his brother and father.
The trained people have said he's not helpable. I think it's at the point where they're like they were like, hey, if you don't come pick him up, we're going to call the police. That's basically what that's what I seem to gather, that the group home was like, all right, we're going to have him, sent to prison or jail or something if you don't come and get him.
I'm going to break this so I don't have it. I can't want to live anymore.
It's unfortunate, Cozy J. And you know what's unfortunate? Because a lot of people will say things like, oh, he needs help. He needs help. Yes, he does need help, but he has to accept some help. If he doesn't accept any help, there's just nothing you can do.
You bully me! You bully me! The cops allow you to do it to me!
Okay, go turn on living room light.
Can you go upstairs?
Does anybody else get reminded of Pete's when they see this guy? I feel like this is what Pete's could become in a few years.
Please, no. I feel cornered.
No.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Please, I want to be left alone.
That's actually something. I mean, they can't force him to take him, but maybe they could get a court order. I feel like a big part of the issue is that he has to have some like real consequences for this. And if they're not going to kick him out, if they're not going to put him on the street, or if they're not going to make him face some real consequences, he's not going to change his behavior. And that's the problem, is they're still shielding him from consequences ultimately. As much as I want to sympathize, they're still shielding him in a sense.
You,
just in case he does something.
Dad, I want to be left alone. You're bullying me. Please.
I can believe it. I can believe it, though.
I want you to stop. I want to get my sneakers, Dad, so I can go run away. Please, I want to get my sneakers since you fucking called me a fucking fake.
This is the problem. He's vulnerable, but he's also causing problems to his parents. So it's like they don't want to send him to jail because they know that he's going to be harmed in jail, but at the same time he's harming them by not going. So it's a very sad situation.
And you hurt me. I want to get my sneakers, please.
Actually, no, I probably should throw up a trigger warning. That was actually a good point. I probably should have put one up earlier. But if if it's not too late, trigger warning for anybody. This is pretty disturbing stuff. A little bit late, I guess, but hopefully anybody upset has already turned it off.
Yeah, he dumped the cranberry juice all the way. He dumped his cranberry juice down there.
As far as I can tell,
the
no.
Dog food, destroying the dog food.
No.
I'm scared of you.
I don't
Dad.
care what you think you are.
I'm scared of you. You abuse me.
It is
Keep me at the bottom. Bring me my running shoes. Like Howlin' Wolf used to say.
widely speculated that Andy suffers from Munchausen syndrome. It is a rare type of mental disorder in which a person fakes illness. The person may lie about symptoms, make themselves appear to look sick, or make themselves purposefully unwell. Andy has been proven to have done all of these things. If you want indisputable proof that he has not been diagnosed with autism, then look no further with this call from the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, where they
All right, here's a good part. Watch this part here where they actually explain. Somebody called up. I don't know who called, but somebody called the state to get the part, and they actually say he doesn't have any autism. We're going to skip through this quickly.
Per collateral, Andrew has an IQ of 80, central auditory processing disorder, and another.
Let me rewind this just a drop. This is his actual diagnosis here.
Reports indicate that Mr. Ditch had an autism spectrum disorder. None of them reference any testing to support this diagnosis. The Erie County Medical Center noted in its March 7, 2019 report, SW APIC referral details.
That's a good point, Beeze. It's really the police are not trained to deal with this guy. I really don't know where to deal with him. What they can even do.
Per collateral, Andrew has an IQ of 80, central auditory processing disorder, and another processing disorder. He does not have autism. He does not have autism. He does not have autism.
That was the statement of the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. They went on to say that they believed Andy suffered from schizoaffective disorder and that his self-diagnosis of
It's right on the borderline there. Apparently, he's not quite at the level of being disabled purely from his IQ, but he's pretty low.
autism was in line with symptoms of that. His family are all very aware of this, and his brother Joe has absolutely no patience for any of it, and rightly so.
Anyway, this guy here, I think he's pretty interesting. Let me skip forward to another part here a little bit later, where he's at the group home. Let me find that part here.
No, Andy, come on. I'm running away. You can't hold me hostage. Come on. You can't hold me hostage.
We're not holding you hostage.
You're holding me hostage.
We need you to
You're holding me hostage.
We need you to go down to the
You're
ED.
holding me hostage. Oh, you abuse me.
This is what he acts like.
Me.
Why are we doing this?
You abuse me. Don't touch me. I don't want to be abused.
So he was basically put in a group home or a hospital at some point, but they couldn't deal with him and they had to kick him out, something like that. It's sad to see.
As it is, because as I've said before, that is the whole point of
But then we see things like this, where he tampers with his family's food. Let me fast forward to that part here. Let me fast forward to the part where okay, here we go.
Food of several.
I'll let his local news station give you the rundown.
A man from the city of Tonawanda faces 3 felony charges accused of spiking the food of several of his family members.
He's smart enough.
Police say 34-year-old Andrew Ditch put Epsom salts and laxatives in the food and the water reservoir of the family's coffee machine. The family members knew something was wrong when they all started to suffer from nausea, abdominal pain, and severe diarrhea. Ditch was arraigned and is being held on $5,000 bail. He will return to court tomorrow for a felony.
He does
hearing.
seem.
He denies it.
Again, this is the thing. He seems just a little bit too clued in. He seems a little bit too smart to be so.
Here, me and his brother,
infantile,
and even my wife got sick constantly, running the job, diarrhea, even crap in our pants. No way to describe it, and we got frustrated. And he made a comment to one of his friends on the internet that he put laxative and Epsom salt in our food, our coffee, and drinks.
And here's the crazy thing: his family is so trusting that this went on for months before they figured out what was going on. This didn't it's not like it happened one time.
It better really be close to run to the toilet. And I was wondering why my stomach is hurting so bad. Like I told my wife the one thing, I wanted to go to the hospital, but I didn't. because it was this doubled up pain. And the strange thing is that since she's been gone, even though he doesn't like to
exactly.
hear it,
This is
we no longer
this
have
is beyond
none of us.
the craziness.
And it was going on for at least 6 months on and off here and there.
That is true as well. Again, Cozy J, that's why it is complex. That's why it's not so easy as just saying lock him up and throw away the key. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to live with him.
We thought it was something else.
For over 6 months, Andy was tampering with their food and drink. For those who don't know, Epsom salt is a magnesium supplement and laxative. Given the fact that Andy uses diapers,
that's basically the crux of it. So let's go back and we're gonna end with, I think, we're gonna go put on another Glitter and Lazers vid after we got our little disgusting interlude here. Just let me pull up the other Glitter and Lazers vid. Actually, I'll let this run for a second. I'll pull that up.
Would say that he's well versed in what the Epsom salt does, as well as the laxatives that he used to poison his elderly parents and brother. To what end, I have no idea. Like I've said, that part of Andy's personality is extremely disgusting and disturbing. So I would not.
Okay, so I'm interested in looking into more in this guy in the future. I think he's an interesting character. I want to know more. I can't look away. He's clearly, this is not going to end well. I don't know how it's going to end, but I want to look into more of it. If it might be a little too disturbing for a regular thing on the show, but I just saw that the other day and I had to share it with somebody. I was just shocked. Okay, so let's watch something a little more lighthearted. I guess this is maybe like a weird interlude to end it with, but let's go back to the Glitter and Lazers. Yeah, this is a wild situation. It's very very unpleasant. But I just thought it was, I couldn't look away. I just couldn't look away. So that's why I shared it. Okay, let's get back to Glitter and Lazers here. So this is actually allegedly Glitter and Lazers has finally ran a 5K. Let's see what happened.
I have always been told I can't run. I know I'm not going to be fast. I know that I'm not going to win. I think I'm going to really struggle. If I'm honest with myself, I think it's going to be maybe harder than I want to admit. It's just freeing. It's freeing to do something that people tell you is impossible, to prove that you can do this like super hard thing.
The thing is, I would love to see Glitter and Lazers doing a 5K, but I would love to see her doing it safely. I'd love to see her doing it after she stops hyperextending her knees, after she's lost enough weight to make it to the end without giving herself possibly an arrhythmia. She's just not in shape to do a 3-mile run. She just is not. I don't think she is. And I'm surprised they cleared her for it. If she is, I'd be interested in hearing the doctor that said she is.
I think that success for me is just.
I agree, Denise. It's too much. It's just too much. All right, let me turn down the music a little bit. I don't want to have the copyright music on. Fumble a bag. Now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes. Okay, now here's something. I actually like this, just for the record. My whole complaint with Glitter and Lazers is I felt she's been inauthentic. My complaint is not that she exercises. My complaint is I felt she was being dishonest about it. It seems, at least this video, like she's actually trying to do some real activity, some real exercise. So if that's what she's seriously doing, that's awesome. I just wish that she wouldn't have lied about it for the last 9 months. I wish she would have started with this video instead of starting with 9 months of lies. I get you, Cozy J.
My plan was I was supposed to run today.
No, I understand you, Fiona's mom. That's tough. Sorry.
Okay. Also, thoughts and theories. I think I maybe need to slow.
Now, I've actually had a friend for a few years who had a brain injury himself, and it did affect him a little bit, but thankfully it didn't affect him severely. It did affect him a little bit. So I can sympathize certainly that, and it seems like he had plenty of issues even before the brain injury. So who's he could even say with him? How much of it was the injury?
It's okay. Yeah.
I just don't want to injure myself. And I think learning this, it's like, I don't want to go up in the
Oh, let me hear the intro. I'm sorry. I was talking through the intro there. I want to hear this little part before race day.
My plan was I was supposed to run today, but I think I'm going to run tomorrow and just give it an extra day.
Okay.
Also, thoughts and theories. I think I maybe need to slow down to go fast.
Which is okay. Yeah.
I just don't want to injure myself. And I think learning this, it's like,
Okay, so she has, okay, the way that she says this is good. I think that this is, what bothers me though, is this is the video she should have done 9 months ago. I don't want to injure myself. How come she's never expressed this concern before? How come she's never once expressed a concern with injury before? Did she never think about it before? Or maybe she just wasn't really that active before, so it was never really an issue for her.
I don't want to go up in the amount I'm running until I feel confident that I'm running when I'm running safely.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, that's a great plan.
And so I was like, okay, let's not plan the 5K until I feel comfortable. Because I feel like then I just feel like I keep pushing it out and I don't want to push it. Like, I'm not trying to avoid it, but as I said to John, and I'll say again, I don't want to run a race. I want to run for life.
Does anybody else notice that that these people here, they do not need any convincing that she needs more time. Like, they are not arguing at all. They're not like, oh no, you should not. No, what do you mean take a day off? You're ready now. You should go now. They could not be more accommodating, but she still seems so nervous saying to them that, well, I don't feel ready yet. This is just so awkward in the sense that she's making all these excuses, but nobody expects you to be able to run that far. We just want you to be honest, but nobody expects you to be able to run this far, except for maybe the people who watch your videos who you tell that you can run this far.
One of the biggest indicators of like your success and how you're going to do and things like that in any given race is just like, do you feel confident?
I respect. I agree.
Comfortable with what you're doing?
I agree. The fact that she's doing it, like I said, I wish that she was doing this 9 months ago. If she keeps this up, at least from what I'm seeing so far, I'd be surprised if she doesn't actually get some real results now. I think she's finally going to start getting results.
And your training plan, right?
I was working with my doctors to try to uncover what had caused me to become so inflamed, but I can't deny I felt so frustrated to work so hard, but to feel
I'm sorry to
even
hear that, Cozy J.
further from my goal than I was when I began.
Training plans are there.
hang
to
in
be,
there,
like,
girl.
A good guideline, especially like if you're somebody who likes structure and likes numbers and you want to like know what to do, then they're a great resource. They're also not gospel, right? So
Maybe we can get a couple of hearts in chat for Cozy J. That's all right, you folks. I don't want to tell you what to do, but
if you have a bad week or something like that, that's fine, right? But again, like we said earlier, like the goal is to be as comfortable and as confident as you can be on race day.
I'm being smart about myself right now. And like, it will crush me if we set a date and I don't achieve it. Even if I do everything right.
this way she'll go a little bit faster. This way she'll look like she's doing a little better.
Set that date and I don't hit it, I'll be mad at myself. So I think it's better for me to say, let's just keep going and we'll see where we're at in like a month. And if we're progressing a lot and my muscles growing, in line, then we'll like, great, now we can schedule. But it may not be the case, so it's okay. So my plan was actually to go for a walk, maybe even a run after this session, but I'm learning to slow down to go fast. So we're going to have a rest day. Because
I think if this is for real, if this is actually Anna like deciding that she's going to finally start doing this for real, then I think this is great. I think this is awesome. But I do think that she owes it to her audience to be honest about the last 9 months and how they, she wasn't being honest then. I think she owes that. And I don't think anybody would hold that against her if she was truly honest now.
That's what my body needs. And this whole journey is about learning to listen to my body. And guess what? I'm not very good at it, but I'll get better.
You did have a cool haircut. You know what? I will say this, Freedom Deep. This was a heavily edited video, so I can't stand up for Runlab or criticize them. But I'll say that I'd be interested to hear their side of it because we're only seeing Anna's edited version. There's very possibly they said a lot of things like, well, you'd probably better if you didn't do this. We're not going to argue with you, but who knows exactly what they said. So I don't want to criticize them until I just want to put that out there that it's possible they may have said more than what we saw on camera. So, but I do agree with what you're saying though, that that she's not ready to run. Why is she acting like she knows all this stuff? That's one thing that kind of annoys me too. Anna really acts like she understands this stuff really well, even though she doesn't. And it's cool to be confident, but it comes across as bravado. Exactly. We got to start at the beginning.
So one of the reasons I run in intervals is because of my heart rate. And running for a minute, when I stop, my heart rate's at 174. So the goal is to try to improve on that. Be able to run the same distance, but not be as exerted. So I just wanted to mark the starting point.
For jogging pants.
Life lesson that this has taught me is sometimes the easiest route is actually not the best route for you in the long run. So it's going to be hard for a while, but then a lot easier in the future. And
I have to ask though, how come she never had any of these revelations in the prior 9 months? If she was jogging for 9 months, how come she never once bothered to stop and think, maybe I should, concentrate more on learning how to jog correctly. Maybe I should concentrate more on not making my knees not hurt. This is why I'm skeptical that she'd actually been jogging for 9 months. Because if she was really jogging for 9 months with that kind of form, I believe she would have developed some pretty severe knee pain by now. I'm not saying she should have been doing it. I'm just saying I don't think she was, and I think she misled her audience by that.
Amen.
She said 174. I didn't hear that.
So I have this knee injury that I am working through. And we got about, I guess this is about 2 1/4 in, and I'm just starting to have some pain. The way they told me is to keep going if it's below a 4.
Okay. Do you see something different about Anna in this video from all the prior videos when she showed herself running? This is the first one where I've seen her hair stick to her face from sweat. Has anybody else seen that in any of her other exercise videos? Except for the one that she almost had a heart attack. Except for that one that was so-called beginner workout. This is the first time I've seen her with enough sweat that her hair is actually stuck to her face. These are the signs that I use when I look at somebody if they're working out. I'm not saying that I expect her to get thin and fit from working out, but I expect her to do things like break a sweat. I expect her to do things like feel pain, feel muscle pain. She didn't give off a lot of signs of somebody working out in the past. This time, it seems like she actually is working out. But again, if she'd been doing this for 9 months, how come she never experienced any of this prior?
So I'm right on that border right now. And
Yeah, that's really high.
I'm going to try to stretch my leg out a little bit as I did earlier, and it kind of helped, and see if I can.
That's what I'm trying to do, Nirvana. And again, it's also because she's a sponsored athlete. If she was just doing private videos on her own, whatever. I mean, if she was just, even if she was a very small channel, I wouldn't care. But if she's a big channel, she owes it to people to be honest when she has that big of a channel, that many viewers. Respect, Empress running. I don't really run. Like back when I was losing weight, I did a lot of weightlifting, but I didn't do a lot of running because I was, when I was heavy, I knew that doing a lot of running was going to be hard on my knees. So I kind of concentrated more on exercises that didn't use as much body weight. Yeah, 174 is high.
Because I'm just trying to do the tiniest steps in the most
Agreed.
perfect form so that it hurts the least. So it's really slow, but I think it's the safest way for me to get back to the car, which is still about a 1/4 of a mile away. So part of the process.
Nirvana, I see that all the time when I see
everybody has bad days. And it's whether you get up.
You know who does that too a lot on the other end of the spectrum? You get the people who they use all kinds of drugs and steroids, and they look like they're in amazing shape, and they're like, no, I don't take anything. This is all natural. Those people are those especially a lot of guys who do that. I have no respect for them.
After that bad day and keep pushing, that makes all the difference.
She will not, Nutty. She won't do that.
We are working with Anna today on finding a little bit better in removing patterns, doing a little bit more of a hip hinge so we can find more of that
Denise.
butt working, find some more comfort in where her core is, where her trunk is, and just finding better walking patterns in general. The name of the game right now is just to build better cardio health, to get a better platform for where we
Again, she claimed that she was doing weighted lunges. She can't even do one lunge. And I don't expect her to do lunges at her weight. But she was claiming for months that she was doing lunges. It just, again, you got to be honest, Anna.
to be running that 5K and beyond.
I did it again. Who told you that I was finished? Fresh off the plane with a new mani petty. My hair stay laid, and you know I get paid.
I believe it, Nirvana.
Bills like I racks on the way. I'm making them big moves. I won't stay quiet.
I'm slow. I'm tired. After working out, this is literally what I think hell is like, but it's all part of the process.
In PT, we did a lot of exercises to make sure my glutes were activating.
Today we are.
I think it's almost kind of ironic that she wasn't using her butt when she walks, because if Anna's got anything, she's got a lot of mass back there, and I'm surprised that so little of it was muscle, because I thought that she, if anything, would have had a strong butt, but apparently she didn't.
Working on dynamically controlling flexion and extension, ultimately trying to apply it into running, but first using this step-up exercise.
This would help take pressure off of my knee, and since I was coming off of a re-aggravated knee injury, this was critical.
30.
A lot of the time
Wow,
doing
that's
these
low.
exercises, I felt silly, but slowly I began to see my run
Is
actually
that good?
improve.
That seems
You know what it
maybe
is?
too
It's 'cause I'm
low
thinking,
almost.
Roll your foot. Roll your foot.
Which again, great for the drill. But let the drill be the drill. You just run.
That doesn't happen with me. I'm an
Okay.
overthinker.
Nothing
I
wrong with
couldn't
that.
tell you which exercises did what. I just know that being consistent about them, showing up and doing them day after day, did actually begin to change the way I ran. We also worked a lot on
Well,
building.
Matt, did you hear her say that?
You which exercises did what. I just know that being consistent about them.
Just run.
Listen to this. This is the person who, after all those months of exercising, showed no actual progress or change. Listen to what she says now.
I'm an overthinker.
I couldn't tell you which exercises did what. I just know that being consistent about them, showing up and doing them day after day, did actually begin to change the way I ran. We also worked a lot on building my power and also the actual stance in which I ran to help increase the way I would impact the ground to move myself forward.
This is trying to get.
So in other words, 9 months of using the app gave her basically no results. A couple weeks maybe of Runlab, and now she's already moving around better, which is great. But why did she not start doing this kind of stuff originally? If she had really done real exercise, she'd have had these results months ago.
Get your brain and your body able to produce force faster, right? In a very safe environment.
I really have been prioritizing running,
geez.
which has been hard,
Yeah.
but I'm finding
You're a real athlete there.
Not that I wasn't prioritizing it before, but I'm different. It's different. It's
Yeah, I was not like a great athlete. That's why I was so heavy most of the time. I did some karate and stuff like that, but I wasn't like a great natural athlete. Right? She just told on herself. How did she get all these results so fast if she's been working out for 9 months? How come she got 9 months of exercise, 160 workouts, no results? 3 months of how many workouts is this? And all of a sudden now, or 2 months, however little this is, now all of a sudden she's got amazing results.
I don't try to do it on the same day I lift because it's too much for me right now.
Yeah.
And then that's I'm destroyed after, and then I don't want to do it again.
100%.
So if I do it on its own day, then it's not that bad. My goal is let's just get to the 5K.
She actually seems, something, she seems like a different person here. I'm going to say this. I've been very critical of Anna, but she actually seems like she's being honest here. I get the impression, whenever this video is recorded, I don't know what she was doing when she wasn't on camera, but I get the impression she might have actually been working out at this point.
Do it. And honestly, I don't care how fast. I know that you want me to go fast, but I just want to finish.
I just want you to complete it without being hurt.
As long as it doesn't cause you pain, Beeze, as long as you feel good doing it, that's what matters. If it feels good for you, then do it. I felt like my knees, maybe from riding the skateboard in the past or whatever, I felt like my knees had already experienced a little too much wear and tear. So I didn't want to put a lot of weight on them until after I had lost more weight. But everybody's different. If you feel good, then by all means, go out and work that body.
Exactly.
I could honestly care less what your type is.
Okay.
I just want you to
10K is a
feel.
little bit harder because I can't get swept. So.
Okay. But number one goal is do I feel confident doing this, and do I feel like I accomplished something versus
yeah.
I got through it, but that I didn't enjoy.
I felt exhausted.
Impressed
I
you're
felt
doing yoga.
overwhelmed, and the
Because I know you mentioned you're not the smallest gals, and doing yoga is tough when you're bigger. So respect for you on that for doing that yoga. I've tried to do yoga when I was heavier, and I just wasn't really able to do a proper like yoga exercise. Like I've always been flexible because I did a lot of karate when I was younger, so I've always been able to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, when I was heavy, I just couldn't do it.
Idea of being able to run 3 miles nonstop seemed further than it had ever been before.
I can do this. I've done this before.
Respect 45 minutes
Yes, it feels
of
harder,
real
but it's not
exercise.
impossible.
That's a good
It's
workout.
okay to go slow. We just need to finish it.
Has she really
Yeah, I
though,
think it's-
Nirvana? How many people has she really inspired? If she has inspired people, I think that's awesome. But I don't like that she's done it with lies. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad if people have gotten healthier by watching her channel, that's awesome. But it's just something wrong about her doing it with lies, right?
Still, I made myself show up, even though every time I was there,
Agreed.
I felt like I was being completely unrealistic. For some reason, I just kept showing up.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Freedom Deep.
My stomach is in knots. I do not feel great, but
I wish she gave us again. Anna's so vague with her numbers, but I wish she told us how long this training period was, because it seems like she's got some real results during this period, and so it has to have been longer than a couple weeks. It has to have been at least a month, maybe 2 months. Maybe longer. But it's great what she's doing. It's awesome.
Okay.
Right.
When I started this
Battle
journey, I set my success as
Well,
just
let's
finishing, and I'm going to stick with that. I think I can do better than just finishing. I think I can probably potentially.
My knees
have a
hurt watching her
new,
too.
Record in the speed of which I finish this distance, but I have to remind myself that take the win where
Wow.
the win is.
A lot.
And a couple months ago, I didn't think this was possible. So just doing it is the win, and I need to be.
What'd you say a
happy
couple
and
months
excited
ago?
about
Because
just
that's
doing it is, and a couple months ago, I didn't think this was possible.
okay. A couple months ago. So she's actually been doing this for a couple months now. That was my guess. It was about 2 months.
So just doing it is the win, and I need to be happy and excited about just doing it.
Already? Nutty, cracking me up. You probably did show up with just like a little tiny training rock. That's a lot. I actually once did a 5K when I was, not when I was like really heavy, but when I was kind of like in the middle. I actually did it a while ago. I was like, I was about 240 when I did it. And you know something? I was so used to being out of shape that I kind of just did like a little fast walk on the first half because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to finish. And I made it all the way to the end of the first half, and I still had so much energy, I jogged all the way back. And I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just saying, like, I actually impressed. I couldn't believe it. I was like expecting that I wasn't going to have enough energy to make it. And it was like a sorority doing a charity. So I wanted to, look good in front of the girls. So I didn't want to let them see me not finish. So I made sure to I took the first half easy so I could look strong on the second half. And so I ended up jogging all the way back, and everybody was like, you look so you're in good shape. Oh, you're running. And I was thinking to myself, well, you'd see me on the first half.
A little bit of anxiety.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot harder than it normally is. So
it's the people, it's the energy, it's something different.
It was a few years ago now,
I think
though.
I'll be really stressed.
Thank you.
And scared that I won't show enough improvement. And if I could tell myself anything, it would be just like, remember why you did this. It wasn't to be good at it. You did it to get back to something that made you really happy. So remember that and just have fun.
7 hours driving on the highway. Far away, far away, far away. Every moment I was
Let me get a look at her form actually while she's walking.
far away, far away.
Her form is improved. Like her form is better. Like I'm going to say this. I still think that she'd be better off doing like pool aerobics and that kind of stuff. But at least it looks like she doesn't look like she's going to get hurt like immediately. Like maybe by the end she'll look different, but right here she looks, her gait has definitely improved.
Every moment I was spending on regret was such a waste.
God bless you, Lisa.
Such a waste. Looking on the city lights.
God bless you. If you could do a half marathon, you're in good shape. I'll just say it like that. You're in very good shape, in my opinion.
Look up to the sky and I got this relief inside. And there's no need to
like a dance. You noticed that? Oh my God. She really is.
I'm letting go in my heart.
Running.
Yeah, she is.
In a lot of ways, like it's something you always dream about and want to do, but like feels impossible.
Oof.
And I don't know how to explain it any other way, other than it's like the closest to flying I'll get in my day-to-day life.
All right, at this point, if you notice, her form is. This is what I mean, though. By respect for her for completing the 5K, but at this point, she probably should have bowed out. Because if you notice, her form at this point has gotten really bad. She's not bending her knees anymore. Look how stiff her legs are at this point. She's putting, in the beginning, she was taking good measured steps. At this point, even though this is what I don't like about these kind of 5K exercises for somebody who's not in the best shape. Because you should quit when your form breaks down. At this point, when she's starting to put a lot of stress on her knees, she probably should have said, I'm just going to take a rest. But instead, she completed it anyway because she wanted to say she did, which good for her. But you don't want to risk injury.
I wanted to go at 20, and I'm going at like 19:30. Yep, right now in this mile. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you're on pace. You said you had a goal time, and you're on pace to hit that goal time. You're doing awesome.
It's good that she completed it, but I just feel like.
Look up to the sky and I got this relief inside. Then there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go.
And you know what else I do like about her doing this 5K? And I'll say respect to Anna for this, that there's the people here are in relatively good shape. This isn't like she went to some like special event where she was going to be the only person there. Like she just said, you know what? I'm going to join in with this group of people who are in good shape and I'm not going to sweat it. And I think that was, I respect her for doing that.
You got this. Woo. All right, here we go. Once we hit that stop.
You see her gait toward the end here has gotten really bad. You see how her legs, her feet are kind of pointing out now. She's back to walking on the sides of her feet. Even though she did complete the 3K, she probably, I don't know what point it was, that other video, but she probably should have called it a little bit early. Though, hey, you got to start somewhere, right? I just think that this is a bit more than she can handle at this point.
Okay. You know,
Yep.
I'm really proud of myself. This is way faster than I thought I was going to do it.
My knees are hurting too. Yeah, respect for trying.
If you need me, I believe that we can grow.
You did it! 58:38. You beat your time.
She did it, and you know what? She doesn't look as tired out as I thought she would at the end. So hey, this Runlab managed to whip her into some kind of shape. So good for them. Credit where it's due, yeah. I'll give her the credit for completing it, but I want to say something though. Is she going to acknowledge that this kind of calls into question all of her prior claims? Because how did she show this much improvement in just 2 months of allegedly doing the same thing she's been doing for 9 months?
The new running word of the day.
You guys more?
do tandems. Come in with it. Come in with
The
it.
new running word out of the day.
No, that's fair. I hope so too, Nirvana.
You know, I think in my life I've limited myself a lot by being afraid to try things that I wouldn't immediately succeed at. And I think if running has taught me anything, it's taught me that there is a lot of joy and slow and steady progress. And I think we take that joy for granted and sometimes don't even acknowledge it.
You know, something about Anna is she's not a good liar, and she comes across as somewhat authentic in this video. That's why I think she was lying in the others, because I'm not saying I'm an expert on telling when somebody's lying, but in the other videos, she came across as a liar. In this video, she comes across as being honest. And notice how she has video evidence to back it up. She shows herself in the 5K. She doesn't just tell us she did it.
It's not about the big wins. It's not about the small wins. It's about showing up for yourself every day. And then when you come to do something like this,
Nothing wrong with a beer
you
after
exceed
the
your
run.
expectations because you put in
You earned it.
consistent work. If I show up for myself, I will eventually be and have the life I want again. And this is just one step there. So what's next for me is
You know what? As much as I want to make fun, the fact that she actually completed it is good. I just really hope that this is not just a bait and switch. I hope that she actually keeps it up. And I just hope that she'll start being honest with her audience, regardless of what she does. Anna, let me be straight up with you. I've been harsh on you in the past. Let me say that I'm glad that you did the running. I think that's cool. But please be honest with your audience. Don't lie to them. Tell them the truth that in the past you hadn't been honest, but you want to start being honest from here out. And I think that moving forward, things can get better, right? Okay, everyone. I'm going to end it a little bit early tonight. I'm going to send you folks off to, I think Hannibal's on, or Skinny Queen on tonight. Who's on tonight? We got House of Hannibal on tonight, so I'm going to send you folks over there. All right, everybody, thank you for coming in. Tonight was all over the place. We have a bunch of different topics tonight. It was a very, very off-the-wall different show as far as different stuff. But I like experimenting sometimes. I liked, in retrospect, I think I probably shouldn't have put that weird guy in the middle because it kind of broke up the, it kind of was a weird like thing to put in the middle. But I did like including that content, I think, and hopefully you enjoyed it, or at least it was interesting, if not enjoyable. Yeah, and Queen Now, I tried watching a little bit of her in the background, but she just wasn't really going off tonight. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming by. It's always a pleasure. And hopefully next week I have some really more interesting stuff to share with you. Let me put on my my good night music. And good night, folks. All right. Thank you for coming on. I'll see you over in Hannibal's. Yes, and please hit the like button, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Oh, you're very welcome, Empress. And thank you. And your opinion is appreciated. Always fun having a chat. Yes, thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night, good night, good night.